Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and there is a lot of fury. There's a lot of people who are just absolutely in, enraged at the Democrats who handled Dianne Feinstein in her final hours, and they have good reason. And we're going to get into that now. There's even been charges of elder abuse. Before we get started, I implore you again to please like and share. It really helps keep this channel free, and it does so much for us, and we appreciate it so very much. Also, please remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and comment on the video. Those things all help. So, Dianne Feinstein, just hours before she died, was brought into the Senate to cast her final vote, which was to a procedural vote for a continuing resolution to keep the government funded, a procedural vote to advance President Joe Biden's agenda, just hours before she died. Hours she could have been spending with her family, with her loved ones. She was in the Senate casting a vote. Now, she could have been doing that of her own volition, of course, and she was able to wave to the crowd on her own, and she did walk in there with some help, and she did need assistance to raise her arm to vote yes or aye. But then she was able to wave to the crowd on her own and walk out on her own. So, any conspiracy theories, I've heard them, conspiracy theories that said, well, she was dead when she got there and they just weekend at Bernie's her. Uh, no, they're inaccurate. If you watch the videotapes, as I have, that's just not the case. And you can Google those, you could check online. There's obvious video of her being definitely alive and kicking and active in the hours leading up to her death. But what Glenn Beck said, and Glenn Beck from The Blaze and from Fox News, he's been on a contributor there for a long time, was a contributor there for a long time. He called it elder abuse to drag her out in front of the crowd like that, to have her cast a vote in her final moments where she was obviously weak, she was obviously struggling. Was the vote so important that you had to bring this woman out? And now, until Gavin Newsom appoints somebody, and he has decided, he said long ago, he would appoint a black woman. He will not consider anybody else, but that this person would only be a stopgap until the election. This would not be a person who's involved in campaigning for the late Senator Feinstein's spot in the Senate. And so I think that is at least fair. But he said that he'll appoint somebody. But until that person is appointed, you have a power shift in the Senate, because the Democrats had a razor-thin majority, and now they don't. The Republicans have said they will not step in and stop the Democrats from replacing Feinstein on the Judiciary Committee, which I think is appropriate. In the case of a death, you should not use that to your political advantage. So I think that is noble, and I think that's the right thing to do. What I don't think was the right thing to do, unless it was something she really wanted, was to bring her out there on the final day of life to cast a vote that was going nowhere anyway, because there was no way it was going to pass the House. Those hours could have been spent with her family and friends, and in my heart, I wish they would have been. But I pray that she had peace in her final hours, and that her family and friends did surround her, and that she passed peacefully and without pain. And I pray that she is in heaven now, and in the loving arms of our Lord. And I disagreed with almost everything she stood for, but as a human being, she was a pioneer. And, for the Democrats, she's an icon. So for us, she was not, but I respect her service to the country. I just wished it would have been nice to see the Democrats give her a better send-off than they did in her final hours, in my opinion. I do want to know what you guys think about this, though. Is what they did wrong, or were they honoring her final wishes? Let me know in the comments what you think. Also, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I'm Carmine Sabia. This is Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.